That's for the translators. Welcome, you guys, to this special call for Facelift Facilitators. You guys get this call is all about you guys because we have a surprise for you. And I think Sarah's going to intro Miss Cassie and then intro, whatever the magic is going on.
Hi, everybody. Happy out of quarantine if you're out yet. And to brighter horizons and greater futures. I just wanted to come say hi to you guys. And I'm actually going to hand this off to Cassie. She worked really diligently and creatively in creating a future on your behalf. And it's really exciting. And I think she should take it away and share all of the new juicy bits. And we're all super excited to hear about it and show you guys.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited. So we've been looking at, as you know, like expanding the future with Facelift and what else could we create. And part of, I think, where this started to percolate, we've always had this in our awareness of something that we want to create for you guys. But this whole quarantine thing really got us lit up of like, so what could we, so they can't touch bodies right now. So what could we create for you guys? So that would be really different and really fun for you. And that will go beyond quarantine. So we wrote a class for you guys called Beyond Aging. And we have a beautiful little mini manual. I'm going to go through it and show it to you. I love all the there's some surprise faces. We already have it translated in quite a few languages. Betsy probably would be able to give you that list better than I could. And so this is a class that you guys are actually going to be able to facilitate online if you would like until, is it the end of July?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So yeah, you can have your Beyond Aging class. You can Zoom with people. You can offer them this possibility. At the end of this, I'll show you at the end of this manual, we talk a bit about facelift. So what future can this create for your facelift business and your facelift classes, and people wanting more of this and wanting to explore what is beyond aging, what is indefinite living. So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go screen share. So we had a beautiful designer make this. I wonder if I can make this even bigger. Oh, here, this little button. Can everyone see? Yeah. All right, so Beyond Aging Guidebook. Little blank page. Here's your little table of contents. It takes a tremendous amount of energy to make your body as old as you've decided it is. So we've got a lot of beautiful things from Gary Douglas in here, stuff from the embodiment book from Dane. So topics like what is aging? And these are, this is also starting points for you. So as you bring up Beyond Aging and you read these words and what is aging, you can have that conversation. So this isn't like just read from the manual and this is all that they get, but this is actually a platform for you guys to leap off of. And so you get to bring what you know about all of this and ask questions. We did not put the clearing statement in here, but that doesn't mean you can't use it. It's just so that if you are bringing this into a place where maybe the clearing statement wouldn't be appropriate and you want to kind of have it a little less in that kind of energetic way, then you can have this. I mean, you always be the clearing statement, of course. So how old have you decided your body is? I don't know. I'm not going to read the whole thing, right? Yeah. Okay. That might be crazy. What is your ideal age? And we actually have a place for people to kind of write down some answers in here and really explore this for themselves. A lot of us have decided that there's some ideal age to be. Align and agree and resist and reaction to aging. So we're getting a little deeper. You guys can have this kind of conversation. You're using the access tools that you know about all of this. We talk about the interesting point of view tool here. We talk about judgment, of course. And here's some steps to stop judging your body and judging your age. And then we have the access energetic facelift, and then the class, inviting people to the class. And just to end on this beautiful graphic, is now the time to change the face of aging. So this is already up in your name. I'm just going to show you right here. It's right here for you guys. Get to click on it. I can't wait to hear about how these classes go for you guys actually, and see what shows up. And of course, this is something you can do live too. So if you are able to do small groups, please do that. And what might be really fun, I'm just going to stop sharing for a minute, is at the end of this or during this, I kind of got the sense that you guys could probably do like mini facelift sessions and actually like be that energy and show that energy in the places where it seems appropriate, and that would be a contribution. Just really, what I got is this could get people reaching for more and wanting more. Just checking if there's any questions in here. Thank you so much. Yes, yes, yes. Wow, wow, yay. It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah.
And oh yeah, I was just gonna say if you want to post it on the Access website, it's like any intro class, it's $20 to post, and has a nice little description and everything like that. And the minimum price, I forget what's the minimum price we have. You guys can choose. And I think it's probably like our other intros. I think we set it at 35 USD recommended as a minimum, but you could choose.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And Susanna, you can unmute if you have a question.
Hi, I'm not with video, sorry. Hello, everyone. What is this? Okay, I don't know how to.
You're like Avatar. You're blue.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Facelift. Yeah, I'm too wise for this thing. It never works. Okay. My question is that I'm in Argentina, and I'm in the area that is a strict quarantine, and actually they want to go back to the first phase even. So since March, I'm not giving classes, and Facelift is a body. So what about this intro? Is it possible online? What is like?
Yeah. Well,
first we have to, if someone wants to have the first class, needs to be with 2 people. Here it's impossible because the person that is interesting doesn't have another person in the house that is interested in the class too. So
Susanna, that's one of the reasons we actually created this for you. Is that you can do this online. And because you're not actually teaching them the facelift process, you're just talking about it. You're talking about aging, you're talking about a new possibility with aging.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, you get to talk a little bit about, so you get them excited so that when it quarantine's over for you guys, you have a lineup at your door. People that can't wait.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. I really had like this thing. By the way, my last facelift class was Guy, that when it started the quarantine, he didn't go to the gym and he used the facelift every day, and he was better than in the gym. So yeah.
Oh, I love
that. Yeah. No, he's
going to try that.
Huh?
I said, I'm going to try that. I haven't thought of that as a quarantine option. And ask my body to run facelift on my everywhere.
Well, his body wanted that, so mine didn't. Okay, thank you very much.
you.
And Betsy and Mike, for languages, if they're on this call and receiving translation, the manual is, I think it's basically done in almost every language, right? But maybe one or two are.
We literally are, and they were working so hard and fast, you guys, to try to get this done quickly. And we've been uploading almost like all day long. And as soon as they're done, they're going in the Ning. So just keep checking back, and literally it should be another day or two. If your language is not there now, for anything. And then if there's anything missing, you know, feel free to reach out to me and I will make sure you guys get it or have more information on it.
And Ula has a good question, and Pam, this one might be for you, because I'm pretty sure we did not translate the manual in Danish. And she's asking, is it okay if she does the class in Danish?
Yeah, so the classes where we say you have to have the printed thing in your language to do it is when it's about a book. When there's a book involved, the book has to be published in your language. But for this, if you can if you can read the English manual and use it to facilitate, then you can totally use that manual and facilitate the class in Danish.
So we actually do have it in Danish, so yeah.
And we have it in Danish. Yay!
So that's good information to know. Do you want me to quickly share screen and show where it is in the drop-in?
Yes, please.
Yes, for posting. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so, all right. So here you guys, so you're, in your dashboard, you go under create a class, and it's actually the events section. Click on events, and then you're gonna see all the events that you could possibly do, and it's beyond aging, an introductory class. And then fill out your stuff. I think Emily already said it's only $20 USD to post it. And it has, a description, and it's going to have the branding on it, on that page and everything when people get directed to it. And then it goes to the access site, which is pretty awesome and easy. Is it in Hebrew? Oh, Betsy.
Coming. It is coming. It is almost done.
And how about Betsy, when they go, I know it's not there yet, but when they go to the Facelift Ning, where will they look to find this manual?
Do you want to do screen share again, Cassie, and show them?
Absolutely. All right, so here we go. So it is under intros to facilitate. How do I backtrack? So you go, so here's book readings, class materials.
There, under marketing, it said intros to facilitate.
There we go, click. And it's right here. It's like first one here for you guys. And then here's you could download the, of course this will look different a little bit in your language. Download the guidebook here. And then there's a whole bunch of other resources for you guys. And these are other intros you guys can actually be facilitating. And I believe, correct me if you're wrong, they can facilitate any of these online right now. Yeah?
Correct.
Yeah. So your Facebook business hasn't actually stopped in any way. It's just different. And so what can you create with these intros online?
And just to let people know, when we say, this intro and the others there on the Ning, when we say you can do them online through July 31st, that's like the current date. Whether it's the intros or foundation, the things that we're making exceptions that people can do them online when they can't usually, we kind of move it all in bulk. So as we get closer into July, we'll be looking at it and seeing, do we need to extend that further? Or, how's the world doing, and what kinds of availability do people have to create live classes? So a better way to say it is through July 31st for now. And then, as we get into the summer, we'll be seeing how that goes.
I love that. Go ahead.
And for any Ning question, if you're like, I don't know how to get in the Facelift Ning, the fastest way I think would be to write customer service at accessconsciousness.com. And for pricing again, you guys can choose the price. So ask the class, what the class would like to be because it might be different every time you do the intro. But we recommend a minimum of $35 US or more. You can choose. So ask the class, but you guys can choose the price. So you'll be able to select that when you post it. And then Jenny's asking about Swedish translation. Noted. You have Pam
Traducción en sueco.
that she's just saying, could we translate things in Swedish again? So
Traducir
Pam's a
cosas.
good person to have on. So we're noting that request.
Can I ask a question from the
Yeah.
Spanish chat? This person says that she no longer is a bars facilitator, and that she has been informed that if she's no longer a bars facilitator, she can no longer be an Access Facelift facilitator. She wants to know if that's true.
That's not correct. It's separate licenses. So you could be licensed as a bars facilitator, or you could be licensed as a facelift facilitator, or you can be licensed as a body process facilitator. Each of those is standalone, and you don't have to be licensed in all of them. You can let them lapse, and then you can renew. So if you're on this call, I assume you're a facelift facilitator, and so you can facilitate these classes.
And someone asked about renewing their facelift license, and you're asking, I don't want to, Borsi, maybe is how you say your name, when the class with Shannon's are scheduled for. So you guys, we were going to do that, the first online facelift class with Shannon back in April, which got canceled because of the COVID. So that will eventually get rescheduled, but right now it's not on the schedule yet. So that's not part of your renewing. So you would just renew your license by having the one qualifying renewal class within the year. So you don't have to worry about that extra prereq yet at all until we later tell you when the class is.
Hey guys, we have a question for the facelift for Portuguese, which is if two people are interested in doing the facelift and they are in the same place, can be the class done online? So the facilitator is online and the two people are in person. Okay,
That's no. The body classes and the facelift class cannot be facilitated by distance. And, you know, if you are a bars facilitator, while Gary said you can do an online bars class with two people who are there to run the bars together, you know, wherever they are, it's really not recommended. So,
and then someone's asking, how do you share the manual with participants? Yeah, you would send them that PDF to your participants. Don't send them that until they pay for the class. That's the thing with online classes. You want to make sure when they pay you, then give them the manual in case, like, you know, they end up not wanting to show up or anything. So you want to send them after you receive payment for the class, and probably maybe right before class. Sometimes people, if you gave it too early, they would like read the manual and take the class before you had the class. So kind of that's what we do for like a foundation class, and like, you know, they pay, but usually you give them the manual as you begin the class, so you can kind of go through it together basically. And the PDF manual is in the Ning, and you'll download it and you'll find your language there in like the next 24 to 48 hours, hopefully, if you don't see it there now. The translators are amazing, and Betsy, you're amazing. So that'll be there very soon. So Borshi's asking, sorry if I'm butchering your name as well. So can you renew with just one of the 3-day body classes would be okay to renew? And yes, that's one of the renewal options. So that would count for renewing your license. Other questions, you guys? English or languages?
I have another question.
Yeah.
If someone already took the facelift class, what about this one? Is it like
Oh yeah. Oh
I already
yeah.
took it, or what?
I I mean, hey, I wrote it, so I'm like, I'm biased. Well, I co-wrote it. But if you actually go through and read the whole manual, it has pieces from Right Body for You. It has pieces from the embodiment class. It has pieces from, all over. It can be the intro to a facelift, but it can also be what you go beyond with facelift. So I know the facelift manual myself because I've facilitated it, and there's stuff in here that is not in that manual. So they stand alone, but they can also really contribute to it.
So I can contact all the people that took the classes with me and invite them.
Great
to the
idea. Yeah.
And invite them to invite their friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
If you do live somewhere where you can have small classes now, you could have an intro evening one night followed up by a facelift class the next day.
There's no this issue like bodies that is not the following day.
No, because it's not the Beyond Aging doesn't involve any body processes, so it's fine to do one that, yeah. And in case you're not a body process facilitator, if you don't know what she's talking about, the body process classes, you can't do body process classes 2 days in a row. So she was asking, does this count as that? And it's like, no, this is an intro. So you can always pair an intro one evening with a bars class or a body process class or a facelift class, depending on your license, the next day.
I miss it so much. I miss to have the people here and give them the class.
Yeah.
I was asking what I want to do next for 2-3 days, and I just got what I like. Thank you.
And you guys, so this is awesome because it's especially for you guys as facelift facilitators. And that topic is, I don't know if anyone has the stat, but what the world spends on aging it's $1 billion industry. So, and what we offer, as you guys know, is something so different. So it lets people who will be attracted to that topic and have never heard of Access. And of course you'll get people in Access who are interested, but it is such a great way to bring these tools of things with the body and how you can change it from a really different way to people that are just like, all I know is I want to look younger, or I don't want to feel so tired, or whatever that is, which so many people have that. So use that to your advantage, and all of those, like you saw on the Ning, this one's great because it really directly can build your facelift business too, and just whatever else you're doing. But all of those intros that you guys can do right now online too, the stepping into being you, has an awesome mini manual in a ton of languages. Use that to your advantage, because right now, while people are, I know some people are more out of quarantine, but people are so love online classes. Intros, you could do it for like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. You could, make a little graphic on Canva, put it out. You have people sign up the last minute for online stuff. You could just pick a day a few weeks in the future, or, it really could be 2 weeks out, even a week or more, that you have a couple hours free. Schedule it, post it, use it as play for practicing if you haven't done an online class before, or creation. These are such a gift and so easy because you have a manual for you, and you guys know as facilitators, ask some questions. People have so many points of view around aging. It's so fun to play with what you can really clear and change for people in such a short amount of time. And it kind of leaves them, hungry for more, which you guys can offer.
And what I'm thinking of is that call that you did almost a year ago. Well, it was for practitioners. It had Lauren Polly on, and she was talking about how to approach businesses. Because I'm thinking, approaching a spa, and I realize, everybody's not functioning business-wise the way they normally are, but there's different organizations that have to do with beauty and health and wellness that you having an intro class that you can do. It can be online. Everyone can do it from home, that they could partner with you in creating this. and what's possible with that. Yoga centers, fitness
Brilliant,
clubs.
Pam. Yeah. Well, and Susanna, kind of what you said about how much you miss it. Well, how much our body's missing being touched and engaged with. And yes, you won't be running processes, but even talking about bodies and like acknowledging bodies right now, I think so many bodies are just like, hello, I'm still here. And so what a gift now to be doing that and to be offering that to people. And then like you said, the tiredness thing, everyone I talk to is exhausted. So it's like this, so use that in your marketing, right? Are you tired of being tired? Would you like to, like, what if you could go beyond any limitation, blah, 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 and like play with that as you're inviting people?
And people are asking, how long is the class? Like, is it 2.5 hours? Is that okay?
So for all intros, we say 4 hours or under is technically an intro. 4 hours is a long class, especially online. If you guys have been on a class recently that's access facilitated on Zoom, it's intense because you're super present with people. So ask the class again, and also what are you like what amount of time do you like facilitating, who's, you know, and then gauge what works for you. You know, I think a lot of intros, some people like doing an hour. I find I like an hour and a half to 2, depending, you know, and you could look at the manual, ask questions, but you could make it longer. So, you know, 4 hours or under.
And what I like doing is saying it's a short time, but then I go however long I want to.
Tatiana says a 4-hour intro is a Dr. Dane here intro. True. If you've ever been in one of his 4 hours and everyone's like drooling on the floor. So I would say you might not want to do that, but you could. But yeah, if you look at the manual, it's got a lot of juicy stuff in it, and how, you know, you can really play with it.
I forgot to talk about the hour. Do we have to record the class by audio or by video, or is not necessary to send a record to the participants?
That's optional, right?
Oh, I missed the question. Was it about, sorry, I was typing in the chat to answer something.
So she wants to know.
You don't have to have a recording.
Yeah, so with classes, you can choose to record it and make that available to your participants, or you can choose not to record it. I think I like recording classes because the more you listen to it, like kind of the deeper the change goes.
And then if you say something brilliant, you can clip it and put it on your SoundCloud.
Exactly. Somebody was asking in, looks like Hungarian, can I also renew my bars and facelift facilitator license with the 3-day body class?
Yes. So the way the licenses are set up, bars, facelift, and bodies, right now the renewal requirements are exactly the same, which is take one renewal class from that list of classes. And, you know, you can have 3-day body class, and that could apply to any of those 3 licenses. And as long as the timing works out of when you need a class for renewing, you know, one class could renew all 3 licenses. So if all of my bars, facelift, and body process licenses all renew on July 15th, and I take, you know, a class now to renew that, you know, in a month and a half, that one class would take care of all 3.
Guys, just one more question for the Portuguese. Where in the NING are the values, like the recommended values for these classes? And is there a repeat price for this?
So usually for intros, there's no repeat price because it's different every time. Your intro, even though you have this manual as a guide, kind of how the class shows up and what people are asking about and what you facilitate on will be different. So, but an intro is something that you choose the price. So you can, I guess you could give a repeat price, but it's not usually how it's done.
And also on that question of where do we find kind of what to charge and how long, for every intro, basically, because now you have quite a lot of intros that you can facilitate, we've set them all at minimum. We recommend $35 US equivalent, and you can choose. That's the same for all intros that you guys can facilitate at the moment. And same for timing, 4 hours or under is always okay. And then you guys choose what works for you. And if you're not sure, go somewhere in the middle. Or go less, like an hour and a half, and if you go longer, they get a bonus. So, but that's the same for all intros. So you'll always find the manual, and then after we do Zooms like these, we put the Zoom replay with that on the Ning, so that you guys can always go back and listen, and you know, with the little highlights of what's required.
Somebody's asking if they're country pricing.
So you guys, Pam, I don't want to answer this incorrectly, but you're choosing the price.
Right. Yeah. So usually on an intro, you're choosing the price, and you can choose if there's country pricing or not. When it comes to the set classes like facelift, bars, body process classes, you know, there's things that have built-in country pricing, but an intro doesn't. That would be your choice.
And that's your choice, you know, for these intros, as especially online, you might get a lot of people from different countries. So just choose ahead of time what you'd like to do. So sometimes for ease, I think everyone does it differently, but sometimes I'll be like, okay, no global pricing, but I'll choose a lower price. Or if you are going to choose global pricing, then say your class is $50, you want to have payment links for 100% countries, 85% countries, you know, 65. So just as part of creating your business, if you are going to do country pricing, then you'll have to have different ways that people can pay that, you know, so it's just a choice. You don't have to do it for intros. And online, it opens up a world of people, right, who are from different countries. So that's just, and it's part of growing and looking at your business as being, you know, international, and online, it's a cool way to play with that, you know. And often we don't think of that until you go to create something, like, oh, wait, someone from Kuwait just signed up for my class. Like, what's that country pricing? What, you know, it's great. And it also makes you think, okay, what would I have to have in place to create this? So what if now is a time you started looking at your business being, you know, okay, if I were really had a global business, which is why these online classes are amazing. Like, what could I institute? What would I choose? Like, what action could I take today to make that available and make that ease for people from all over finding me and choosing the class? Because I will tell you, when you have the systems in place, it's amazing who shows up. But if you don't have systems, it's like energetically, you know, if you don't have a way to take payment at all, then, you know, you're probably not going to get a lot of people paying for your class or choosing your class, even because you don't have an easy way to pay. Same with like global pricing, all that. So like, look at what a cool time right now to put systems in place to make it ease. So even when we go back to touching bodies, and that's probably part of what you love about being a facelift facilitator, it's like, what if online how many other revenue streams could you add? You know, like, what if this was always, like, you could have different online things going on and your in-person business. Like, so what else could you add to your business and use this time to set up, you know, these awesome systems and creations for that?
Wow, Emily, thank you. I didn't think about English. I thought about the people in Argentina, maybe someone in Mexico that speaks Spanish. I even speak Hebrew, so.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah. If you market your class with English graphics, you're going to get English speakers choosing it, right? But if you chose Hebrew like whatever that is, like the way you market, people go, oh, it's in that language, you know, and you could let people know. You could have translation.
I did an English facelift here from someone from Johannesburg, but she was in Buenos Aires. not, I didn't think about. Thank you. Thank you.
So welcome.
I'd like
And-
to answer that question about giving these intro classes online, and do you have to have a public profile to announce the class?
You do not. You do not have to list your classes on the public access profile. That's a choice. So you don't have to have a public profile. When you do, you get the bonus of posting them, sending people to the site, receiving from access, the energy of access by posting, but that's a total choice. So if you have other ways you like getting the class out and another way to take, you know, registrations for this intro, you can do that. For a facelift class, you don't have to post on a public profile, but Pam, I'm correct, for a facelift class, you do need to check in your participants, even on the back end of a facelift on that site, so we know they've taken it.
Yes, and if you're new to being a facilitator, you know, basically when you go into your account under facilitator tools and you go to post a class, you put in all the information and then you can choose if you have a public profile that, you know, people can go search and find you, you can choose to pay to have your class put on the public calendar, but you can also just set it up and post it kind of internally so that it's there. And then you're able to check in people when your class is done.
Anything else?
There was something up here about GDP. You guys see that?
GDPR?
Yeah, so if recording, suggest for a GDPR clarity, you let peeps know on the sign up that the class will be recorded.
Yes, yes. So actually, so GDPR is the data protection law that went into effect in Europe about 2 years ago. On the Ning if you look for data protection, there's information for you as a facilitator. And yes, if you're recording people, whether it's, you know, through Zoom or through just audio, you do want permission. And so anyway, there's information there about how you can go about that.
And Kim was asking, for intros, do we have to submit and check people in?
No, so your license doesn't require you to check people in for intros, but you're welcome to. And it's actually a great way for you as a facilitator to keep track of your participants. If you've checked in your classes, you can always go back and download the roster. So I always check everybody in for my classes, but you don't have to for the intros.
And then just to clarify, because some of the questions in the chat are from, I know everyone gets on at different times during a call, but basically this is a new intro for you guys to facilitate. Always it's going to be available for you to do in person. Right now during COVID times, for the moment, it's online through July 31st. And come that date might get extended. It might be, oh, you could always do it online. We don't know, but always for in person, you will have this class. And then we'll let you know after, you know, as we get closer to that date, has it been extended or is there a change in that? And all of the languages will be on the Ning in hopefully 24 to 48 hours. So if you're on this call, we're creating the manual in your language, and pretty much we posted the call date as like a, you know, incentive to get all the manuals done. And our amazing translators and teams have been working. So they'll really be there truly in like the next day or two. So awesome. Judy's asking about the link for the Ning. The Zoom has been interesting with copying and pasting URLs. So I don't know if maybe you need a different Ning URL, Judy, but I don't. Betsy, maybe you could repaste it in, or cool. And yes, we definitely get so many people are excited about the online options. So it's something we're continually asking like Gary about and looking at with Simone and team of, okay, like when are these going to be, are they going to be extended? How long? So right now the word from Gary was July 31st for now. And then ask again when we get closer to that date. So we know how, and it's awesome to have those as options. And if you guys, I know some of you are also, if you've taken a choice of possibilities class at any point, you would also be what we call a CFMW. And as a CFMW, because you've taken a COP, you can do online intros always. That was not just a COVID thing. Online or in-person intros on different topics. So that's something, if you've done a COP, that opens up that option, which was there before COVID. So just so you guys know, if you haven't taken a COP, that's also a really cool thing because you have other options like that. Awesome. Other questions?
There's a question from the Spanish chat. She wants to know if the intro class will become a prerequisite in order to then take the facelift class.
No. No, this is just one of those, like, you get another class to facilitate, but it won't be a prerequisite. It's just a great way to introduce a lot of people that love the intros. Like, if you haven't done one, just dip your toe in. Like, choice creates awareness, but most people, when they use an intro, they're like, oh my God, people really love this. And then they're interested in like so much more classes or sessions or whatever. It's amazing, you know? So like, look at, if you sometimes go to, oh my gosh, I don't know what I could offer for my business. Take a look actually at what revenue streams you have just with your access business. And if you might be surprised if you start listing them out, like, and again, right now, some might not be available, but make a whole list. You could put little circles, like, maybe not during COVID, but like private sessions, right? You know, facelift sessions. You've done a foundation, so you could run sessions of body work, like MTV, like whether or not, oh, you've done a 3-day body, so you could do body process sessions, bars, right? All those intros that are on the Ning facelift class. So look at, like, you could sell books. If you have affiliate link with access, these are just access revenues, but you might be amazed that those are actually your products, things that you can offer. And you might have a lot other things going on, but look at all that and then just put your toe in and try something and see how one can connect to the other, you know, and do what's fun for you, because then the money.
Yeah. And Emily, you mentioned affiliate, like selling books and things like that. There's a lot of support now for having an affiliate account and learning how to use the links and things like that. And there's people making money off of affiliate links. So there's really all kinds of things you can do. And somebody was asking, so if you're somebody who was having regular, like, facelift gifting and receiving events, or bars gifting and receiving events, and you're kind of missing that, can you do that online? So yeah, like if you've you know, want to get together with other people who know how to run bars and have taken the class, and you're not running bars remotely, what you're doing is, like, if we were all sitting right here and we started running our implant bands together, right? And we're just on and we're chatting and we could all run our bars. You could certainly do the same thing with facelift, where we're all sitting here and let's all be running the energy on ourselves. So that is something you can do. I'm not running a facelift on Emily because we're not together, but I can run it on myself. Or if I had somebody else with me who also knew facelift, we could be exchanging together while we're online with everybody else.
Somebody was asking to talk a little bit about the monthly reports that they do for
I'll do that. Yes.
They never do them.
Okay. Yeah, you and many people never do your monthly reports, but what it is, and I can get it and put it in the thread here. It's a link to a Google form. And the idea of the monthly report is you're sharing with Access and with all of us who go in and look at this, what you're creating. And it can be anything from nothing to report, I didn't do anything this month, to, you know, I did an intro and I ran bars on my daughter. And it's basically an acknowledgement to you of what you're actually creating, and it tells us, and we do look at it, and it lets us know where are things being created. You know, suddenly there'll be a lot in monthly reports coming from a certain area of the world. It gives us information. It gives you a chance to really look at what you're creating. And what I love about it is it's like you're saying, hey, I'm creating, and we're going, yay. And it's this energetic contribution back and forth where it contributes awareness to us. And we get to, you know, when I go in and look at what people are reporting, I'm contributing to everything that you're creating. And so is everyone else who's looking at it. So that's what the monthly report is. It's in lots of languages. So when you first go in, you pick your language, and it's basically just whatever you want to tell us. There's no way it has to be. Some people write tons of stuff. Some people just list some things. I know for me, I have to admit, I don't do it now, but I also hardly ever facilitate, although that's changing. But I was always, because I would be judging myself for not doing very much. And then I'd do my monthly report. It'd be like, wow, there's a lot more that I'm creating than I ever realized. And so that's what I always found it to be, this amazing contribution to me when I would do it.
And then someone put that link. Tanya, thank you. Put the monthly report form in there for you guys. And
oh, right. And Danilo put, you can also, in the same place where you go and post your classes, there's a button there that says monthly report, and you can access it from the facilitator tools in your account as well. Thank you, Danilo. I forgot all about that.
And Borsi's asking, how can I give credit to beauty professionals like masseuses or others in the industry?
So is that like continuing education credit or something else?
Yes.
Okay. So so we used to actually have, through an organization in the US, the ability to give massage therapists continuing education credits, and that ended. Like they decided they didn't want anything to do with energy work. So it's more, what there has been is sometimes facilitators in a given area or a given profession get interested in how can we provide continuing education credits. And basically, if you want to pursue that and find out for your country, for your industry, what's needed to become a provider and kind of do the legwork of it, we help provide support materials and things like that. So if it's something you want to look at, you can email, I'd say email facelift@accessconsciousness.com, and we can communicate with you about it.
Thank you so much.
And then up before, and Pam, I want you to clarify this so I don't say it incorrectly. Kim was asking, okay, so if I am a CFMW, does that mean after July 31st, I can continue intros online, including like these ones that are made for you intros sort of things?
Okay,
like
so definitely the book, all the book-based intros, the intros you can create yourself as a CFMW, those would continue for you after all of this. Oh, God, maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, back up. For this particular class, for the Beyond Aging, that will be something that we choose down the road. We just created it and it can be online now. It might be that as a CFMW, you could keep doing it, and it might be not. We just are going to have to look at it and choose.
Cool.
I think there's just one last question from Shruti. As a CFMW, I have 3 to 4 hours paid calls. Do I have to register the clients on my Access profile?
No, you do not, because those are intro classes that you're just doing by online, I think. So you do not have to register like them, Pam said, and if you like to keep record of that, then you can create the class and enter them online. Like you can check them in, but it's not required. And just so to be clear too, for intros, like an intro is a one-time, 4-hour class or under, but you wouldn't be able to do like a series on, I don't know, let's say 3 calls on one on aging, one, like you can't do a series until you're a certified facilitator. So you want to make sure if you're doing an intro, it truly is like its own class. It's not that that you group them together. I know that's, so just so you guys are clear on that.
Yeah. And, oh, sorry, because things are going. Somebody's asking, what does CFMW stand for? It's actually, it's not certified fucking miracle worker. It's certifiable fucking miracle worker, which in the US, you're certifiable when 2 psychiatrists can have you sent to an insane asylum. So it's basically, we're crazy fucking miracle workers. So.
And I didn't know that part.
Yeah. Cool.
Any other questions, you guys? And really thank you again to Cassie and everybody who worked on it, and Betsy and all the translators and everybody on the Gaggle for creating this. It's a really cool thing. So thank you. And thank you guys for bringing it to the world.
Yeah. And can I say one more thing about the checking people in? So if you do have an intro and you check people in through your profile, what it does is it gets them, if they haven't done other access classes, it gets them in the access database as well. So that's just something to keep in mind, because then, they get to be part of everything that's getting created. But it's still a choice. You can choose.
Oh, let me add to that. That's really great. And we're looking as access, Gaggle. We're looking at how to really, we have a couple newsletters. You guys might know, you get lots of emails, whether or not you open them, but we have different newsletters that go out from Access. And one is for people that have taken no more than a bars class. So it's often people like that have taken an intro. Maybe they've never taken bars. Maybe they signed up on a website. And we're looking at how to way more nurture that group of people through our email. So not having it be a quote newsletter anymore, like really nurturing them with different content. And oftentimes when we send like an email about, like say Brendan's bars class that has no prerequisites, like we can choose who we send those to. And sometimes we like to look for, okay, someone who's done any access class in the last 2 years. And if you never registered them and they hadn't done anything else, they wouldn't like notify that and be notified of that class through Access. Also, every once in a while, someone like Dane or Simone will put up a telecall, and lately they've been putting really funny prerequisites, and sometimes it'll be any class ever with Access. In that case, an intro would count because they'd be in the database. So that actually is a good reason to check them in so that they have stuff like that on their record and we can reach out to them, and it's growing and getting greater all the time. Cool.
Oh, and somebody's saying up till now they've always invited for intros people who've done bars. Can I invite those who have not done bars? Yes, so an intro has no prereqs. You can invite anybody to an intro class.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons that there's often not like the clearing statement in the intros. It's really like very intro, and then you can like, enrich it in any way you want to. I just wanted to quickly mention, I don't know if you guys know, hopefully, about the business challenge that's going on for all the facilitators and practitioners. And with this coming up, the first challenge was about creating a graphic. I can't wait to see the Beyond Aging, like memes and graphics and things that you guys are going to be posting. So please post in that challenge. I don't know if Sarah, anyone wanted to say more about that challenge, but it's been a pretty exciting, really fun group.
Yeah, if somebody could just say what it is for anyone who doesn't know yet and how to join.
I will. Thanks, Cassie. On the Facebook, wow. quarantine in my head. Okay, on Facebook, you can join the business challenge. What did we end up calling it, guys? Engage the World, Access Consciousness Biz Challenge, I think.
Yeah.
And weekly, every Sunday, there's a post that goes up with a new challenge for the week. No matter where you are in your business, if you're brand new or you've been doing this for a really long time, it's always cool to dive in and see what other people know about creating business. What I found really interesting in the past 2 weeks that we've had it up is I created all the graphics and put those out, and was super surprised about what I learned from everybody in those in the comments and what everybody's creating. So don't take the point of view like maybe I did, like I knew how to do all the graphic things, because I didn't. Go in there and play, and then they will go increasingly, they're just inviting you to play with something for a week. So everywhere from creating an email, how to get more into social, how to engage your business with other people's businesses and with access. And we have, I mean, gosh, I think we ended up with 11 weeks. We've only done 2. So you are not late to the party. You are probably humanoid on time. And you can just get in there and play with each other as well.
And also, Emily, would you like to remind people about the Stories for Change?
Yes. We are collecting this month anybody's story of change about the bars, like anything that's changed for them. It could be something massive, it could be a little thing. And in all sorts of languages, we're taking the stories. We need you guys to actually submit them, or like, and it's a great thing also to tell your clients about, people on your list who have done bars. And it could be a paragraph, a sentence, a story, photos. And they go to accessconsciousness.com/accessbarsbook, because what we're going to be doing is collecting them all and putting them in a really cool book of some sort, explaining what bars is. There'll be a chapter from Gary and Dane, and then all these different stories from around the world and photos. And we need people's submissions to create it. And we know how humanoids are, like, especially when it involves, you really have to write something and turn it in through a website, because we have you sign a little check. Yes, we can use this. Yes, you can edit it. So it has to go through that web page so that we can get your permission to use it, so that we legally can put it in a book and stuff like that. So Betsy put the link there. And if you go to that link, you can click on your language. We don't have it in every language that's on this call, but I think we have it in about 8 or 9 different languages. So go there and check it out. And you can submit your story. And really, I'd love if you guys would invite other people to share their story. It will be really great to have a lot of different things from different people around the world. Thank you for reminding me, Betsy.
Yeah. And there's one more question I wanted to address. So as a CFMW, so that's someone who's taken COP, can you do an intro about the clearing statement? So you really wouldn't do an intro about the clearing statement. There's something that certified facilitators can do called clarity and clearing nights, where it's just like massive verbal processing about a given topic. But what you can do is whatever your topic is, you're having an intro on relationships, you're having an intro on your relationship with your body, or on creating more revenue in your life, whatever your intro is about, then as a CFMW, you're welcome to, you know, introduce and use the clearing statement and teach people how to use it. But a whole topic of an intro of the clearing statement, I would say, is more of a certified facilitator class.
Can I ask something about this?
Mm-hmm.
There's a video on YouTube from Dane explaining the clear statement, and usually I use this to an introduction to the classes. When people come to class, I send them an email so they know Dane, and another video of Gary.
Yeah.
Is it possible to use this also for this intro?
Oh, you mean like to show that video as part of your intro?
No, before.
Oh, before, yeah. No, that's great. A lot of facilitators do that in their email welcoming people to a class. They'll send out the clearing statement video to kind of introduce people to it so they can hit the ground running in their class about the clearing statement. Yeah.
And the people the people also has the chance to know Dane and Gary
Yeah.
and stop the video because it's subtitled and they
Yeah.
don't, it's too fast. So
And they
they take
can
their
also go
time.
running if they're like, oh my God, these crazy people. I don't want this. And then you don't have to deal with them in your class when they're really not choosing to be there.
Yeah, I don't know. People tell me that Dane speaks too fast. When he speaks slow, I don't understand him. So I don't know.
And somebody's asking Emily, can they send their story, their bar story in different languages? And that's
Thank
yes.
you.
Yes, yes,
Sure.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a question about the facelift during COVID. Is it possible to ask here?
Yeah.
Because there are some people that they go to attend their elders and they want to help them. And they took the facelift and they asked me, how can I'm afraid I don't hug them, I don't touch their face. I said to them, do to the feet. In the manual said that it's only once. Is it possible to do regularly feet or belly or some area that is less dangerous for the...
So Tanya, has Andrew talked at all about, let me say I'll tell you how I would respond, and then Tanya, you tell me if there's anything different. So the facelift is, it is a process that's run on the face, and you do run it at your feet as well. But on the Ning, there's some guidelines for doing bars or body process sessions or facelift sessions during COVID. And it's from our lawyer, and he gives suggestions to have a waiver for someone to sign if they're coming to you, to have masks available and hand sanitizer and things like that. I would say, have somebody come and be choosing, yes, I would like to receive the facelift session, and maybe you're both wearing masks and everything, rather than trying to do something like only run the facelift from your feet during a session. But what I was going to ask Tanya, has Andrew said anything about body processes in general?
I had the case that it's not a client, it's just one person that took the class and went to his mom's house to help her.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, if somebody's asking you, hey, can I run facelift on my friend and just use their feet? You tell them to try it and see what that creates. But I wouldn't do a session or a class that way.
You got it, Pam. That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys. And thank you everybody for being on. And if you have any other questions, you guys can always write to customer service at accessconsciousness.com too, or facelift at accessconsciousness.com. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Happy creating.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Miss you.
Thank you.
Bye.